What's going on, everybody? I'm Eric Pauly, and today we are going to be developing a game. Yes, I'm going to be using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. JavaScript is what I'm currently learning, so that is probably going to be where a lot of this focus is going to be. So if you want to hang out with me and kind of watch me stall and think about things for a minute, that's what this video is all about. This is probably video part one, if I had to guess. There's probably more to this, but I do have the beginning of what I want to happen written down as my fingers cover half of it. Um, it doesn't really matter necessarily. I just wanted to show you where I'm pulling my information from. I have a very basic idea of what I want to happen, and then essentially I'm just going to copy most of that, and it's going to just be plopped right into JavaScript. Um, so with that, I think we can just hop right over into it. So let's just go do that. Oh, wait, really quick. I wanted to mention, this is not a tutorial. Not a tutorial. This is a video of you watching me struggle a little bit. So if you're like, why aren't you explaining this and that, that's the reason. Okay? All right. Oh, good old familiar VS Code. What are we going to do here? Let's open up a folder and have all my stuff in coding, and I have it arranged by the week that I have coded that thing on. If I update something, I put it in the new week so I know that I can find the old version. I've created this folder. I'm currently calling this game My Friendly Computer. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with that name, but that's one of the easiest things to change. So for now, MFC, and we'll do just fine. I don't currently use Git, which is why I have 001 here. So, and in fact, what I'm going to do is actually just call it 0. And then I'm going to save and copy this every once in a while and add a numerical character to it. And so it's indexed in order, so if I screw something up, I can just go back to the most recent version and it'll be close to not losing any time on my code production. Alright, I got my folder open. I'm going to create some files, starting with an index HTML and a styles .css, as well as, let's just call it game.js, and that will give us everything that we really need. And I could probably save inside of each one of these so it doesn't bug me about that. I'm going to use a boilerplate, so I just start typing in HTML, and I have the extension installed already for the boilerplate. It gives me all this nonsense, which I'm actually kind of surprised that there's like yields in there for code, but whatever. Being nitpicky about a free thing that I use all the time. Yep, that's where we're at. Let's do styles. So I'm linking everything up right now. So now the style sheet and the game.js, the Java file, are now linked to this HTML file. So essentially everything is all in there together. I'm going to give it a title, and this is just for the actual web page title at the top of the screen. My Friendly Computer. This is the title is a bit of an inside joke. Hopefully somebody gets that out there. Alright, so I have a few things that I want to put in here, starting with a game box, and on JavaScript it's going to be a game box display, but inside of the game box I want a box TV or game TV. No, Yeah, game TV. And I'm using camel case to the best of my ability. Let's do another div right below that one, and this is going to be the text. So there'll be like a little text box underneath the character's face, I guess. And we're just going to call this one game text. And that's going to be nice and easy to find after I get the game text. Where do we go? We want some buttons. I wanted to call it a butt box. div butt box. And inside of there, we want 3 buttons. Well, actually, I'm going to have 5 buttons and a start button. So I want 6 buttons. So for JavaScript, I'm going to call them button, but in HTML, I think I'm just going to call them div but1. Yeah. And we could probably just continue to do that. div and ID is but2. Sure. I mean, I guess it's easy enough to copy. Copy it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we also want to start. These should all be buttons. I don't know why I'm copying them already, but that's fine. It doesn't really matter what I make them because I'm going to add everything custom animation later. At least that's the plan. Right? So, oh well, I'm just going to grab all these divs and change them really quick. This will just make it easier for organization later anyways, in case I decide to give all divs a property or something like that, even though I probably won't. Number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and what do we want? The start? Is it just called start? Start. Should we do start or start button? Start button would probably make more sense. Or just start but. So then I can call it start button in JavaScript and use full word names, that sort of thing. We'll decide when we get there, I suppose. Also, that's all the buttons I believe I want. So we could just call them simple things like next, you know, back, yes, no, and let's see, what other buttons would we want in here? Maybe, I guess, a maybe button. And then what would 6 not be? Run, I guess. I'll probably change these later, and I might even add more buttons or take them away. I don't know. We'll see. And for the okay, so now I think that's basically everything we need in here. We want to just add start to that. Add the words start, and yeah, we're, I think, ready to hop into CSS and start making these things actually look like something. So Control S to save, and then I'm just going to close this here, close that. Let's grab this whole thing and throw it in the side. Now let's open, right click over here, open with live server using the extension from VS Code. Why is this down so low? I want it to take up the whole thing. There you go. And we want this one. And that's all our buttons there. They're inside of divs. It's just, for now, there's nothing inside of the divs. It's all just white space. But if we hit F12 and we inspect these elements here, we can go over here and see that everything is inside of a div, inside of a div, inside of a div. And that's what we want. Okay, so if we pull this over a little bit, it's not pulling correctly. It's so picky sometimes. There it goes. Alright, because I want mostly to be able to see this over here. So I'm changing the styles now. Let's grab these IDs. ID. So everything currently is an ID. I didn't add any classes. And that is ideal, honestly, for now, because we're gonna come back in later and add the hide class when we're hiding all the buttons, everything except for the start button, because when you start the game you don't want to be able to say yes, no, or maybe, because you just want to start the game. That's how games are started. Yeah. Alright, I just copied everything over, so now I have everything that is an ID, and I'm just gonna add the appropriate symbol. Not the number 3, it's a hashtag. We're looking for a hashtag. Hashtag for 100 points. So we got game box. Game box. What do we want the game box to be? For right now, we can add a background color. I just want to be able to see everything, so everything's going to be a different random color. So if we just save that, there you go. That's how big the game box is currently. That's not what we want. So the game box we know is going to be a flex, right? So everything will be stacked onto one another. So the flex by default is a row direction. We don't want row, we want columns, right? Now the width for this bad boy, we could do auto, I suppose, and height. Let's do I guess auto as well. So it should everything should fit in there appropriately. So the TV, now that's inside of there, we can give a background color of, just for now, whatever random color, a border of 5 pixels, and solid and black. Solid black, there it is. There's currently nothing inside, that's why there's no background that you see. Width, we want a different width. Let's do something fairly standard. I wanted to do like a Game Boy size screen, so a square is probably what you want. That's kind of big. Well, but then again, let's instead of doing pixels, why don't we do like 75 view height, VH, and then we'll do the same thing for width. So again, it will be a square, assuming that you're looking on a regular, yeah, there you go, a regular screen. So maybe that's not what we want. We want height to be auto, or let's see, because we don't want it to necessarily grow to the full height. So can we do just 75 view width is here as well? Let's find out. We can. That's great. So this will change when I go here only according to the width. So it will always go with the width. That's perfect. And stay over in your spot. Windows 11 has this down to a T. I just want to say, everybody trying to dog on Windows 11. Windows 10, you're not holding up your part of the bargain here. So let's do this game box. I want it to be in the middle with a width of like 90%. So, but we also want it to be in the middle. So let's try to do that with a justify items, auto. Is it center? Justify items. Is it align items? I think justify items does, yeah, the other way around. So that centered my, the items inside. So I think I want to put the game box inside of a flex. So this will be literally the game box flex. Oops. Made the wrong thing capital there, buddy. So let's just do display and flex. Display flex. And I'm going to go ahead and put that there. div hashtag what was it? Just game box flex. Is that right? Yes. Enter. There you go. And we want to close it at the end of everything. So that's there. This is there. And this is up here, the button box. Okay, perfect. Save it. Save this one again. And now we can do align items here. And this will make it centered. Right? No. With 100%. Or is it just auto? Stuck on a really silly problem here. Let's do a margin of auto. Of course, that's it. Can I just get rid of all this? I sure can. I'm not going to get rid of it over here, though, because I may want to do the... Well, actually, yeah, I will. I don't want to muddy things up with unnecessary code. I was like, I could leave it there in case I may need that later. No, I got stuck on a really stupid problem. Just add a margin. Add a margin, fella. And now that there's a margin there, everything's centered, all nice and neat. So I want margin is actually going to be like 3%. Yeah. Nope, not ED, auto. Just auto. I thought that would be, oh, okay, that's doing the, and then padding is also what I want. And we can just do a little 3%. I think that'd be sufficient. Just enough to where it looks like it's inside of a thing. So padding 3%, and then 3%. I think the bottom one is the last, right? It's 10%. Where is it? Percent. That's not what I wanted. Where's the 10% going? Looks like it's going on the left. 3%, put it back on the left. I think the 10% there on the bottom. There it is. Yep. And so we want that more like 15. And then, yeah, we can head on over to the game text. Now that we got the game TV, we know what the width is going to be, right? So we don't want to necessarily do that. And this one doesn't need to be a box. It's just that the width needs to be the same. So I can literally just copy this. Bang. Bang. Save. And we need a height to it, though. Height of... This can always... If this is always consistent, that would be ideal. So let's just do a height of auto. So that way it will grow. And then a min height of like 100 pixels. That might be too much. That is too much. Let's do 50. Do half of that. So yeah, I think that this is too tall. I like the width, but it's too tall. So I wanted to make it like 65. 65. So everything goes down 65 when we're looking at it. Perfect. And the button box, as you would imagine, we want it about the same. So that's perfect. And then align. So display, flex, and then flex, direction, and we actually want this one to stay in a row. Perfect. And they're all squished together, so we want gap. Let's do 5%. That's too many. 2%. Sure. Yeah. And then let's see. So we got the general idea for the buttons, the button box anyways. And as you'd imagine, this isn't going to have either of these things. They don't need to actually be there. That's quite fine. But we do want to add, some padding of like 5 pixels, probably sufficient, just so they're not quite literally touching. I'll probably do the same thing here, but I'll make sure 5 and then 0, because I don't want padding on the sides, just on the top. It's not padding, it's margin. Game text, right? Do I not want a comma there? Oh, yeah. There we go. I don't want a comma. Yeah, let's do this height more like 70. That's perfect. So now these buttons are all here doing a thing. We could probably just change the background of them and then change the color. So background color, and what do we want them to be? Like a dark color for sure. So black, I suppose, and just color white. I do like those black and white buttons. For changing the color and such, it probably makes more sense to add a class and just call this butt color. Anyways, let's do that for everything over here. Class equals BUT color, and I'm just going to copy that right here. If I hold Alt, I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's do the start button as well. Bing. And I wish I put a space in there, but I like doing that little hold Alt trick. I learned that just by watching. It's one of those things that people don't just blurt out and mention like they should, you know? So let's do something, let's see, not hover, but press. Is that a thing? Is the on press? On click? Is it on click? Does that work? I think that'll work. So I want to add on click and change the properties here. So when I click the buttons, something happens to them. Before I get there, let's add a border. So then there is the actual border that they're supposed to be, like a solid white, I guess. So now they have a button. But now when you add a border and you change the color, that sort of thing, the font, it is no longer a functioning button unless you're on mobile, which is so strange. Let me demonstrate. Why am I trying to save it? Okay, F12, F12. All right, and on mobile, Oh, it's not working now on this one. Well, it did before, maybe because I added the border, but I'm like, here, look at this thing, and then it doesn't work. Amazing. On click. Gotta spell it right. I think that's. Let's see. Do I want. Yeah. Is that gonna work? On click? It's telling me not. It's literally reverse everything, so then it'll really show up. Well, let's try something new. Nope. I know on. Let's just click. Save. I know hover works, right? So let's do that and see what. Huh. Okay. Maybe it doesn't like the double thing. On click. On press. CSS. Where we got? What do we got, baby? Come on, give me that. Where is it? What is the use of? Let's see, selection. After content. Selection. That seems right. No. It is hover like this, right? No. That's so strange. Alright. Active. That's what I want. Current. I'm going to try active. Boom. Active is the one. Now when you press it, it does a thing, so you know you actually pressed on a button. Great. Now all the buttons should be pretty much set up. At the very top, we want to add the hide property, right? And I know it's not being used currently. Display. And we want none. None. So when something is hidden, it will add this property and then it will be gone. Yeah. Alright, now that these color things are here, we can add like width to them or something. Width 25%. Let's see what that does for you. What's 50 do? Perfect. I'm pretty sure that if I hide these buttons, they will do exactly as I want. So you know what? I don't need to call upon these here until I'm in JavaScript. So I'm going to save that, and with that saved, let's see. I was looking to see if there's a way I could pause this video. I actually don't know how to do that. I only know how to stop it. Groovy. Let me check my phone here for a second. Alright. Now, what do I want to do here? hop into JavaScript and start making some things happen. Right. So, first of all, we're going to need some faces inside of here. And this is going to be black with text, right? So we don't want the border to be this color anywhere. So let's make it all consistent. Oops, why am I changing that? That's the thing not to change. Let's find everything that's blue. Background color. No, Alt. I was holding Shift. I meant to hold Alt. Background color is black. And the border color is going to be white. Oh my god, get out of here. White. For text color, it's going to be green. And the actual background, we could stay kind of brown, but it's going to be like basically not brown. So that's the game box itself. The game box should have rounded edges and be smaller. So let's make it smaller. 80. Yeah. 10 like that. A little bit smaller. I like that. Border border radius, and let's just do like 25%. Is that going to be too much? That's too much. I bet 5% is closer to what I wanted. That's too little. Come on now, find the happy median. 10%. That's close to what I want. I bet if I put a border on it, it would look good. It would look like what I'm going for. 5 pixels, solid, and black. Yeah. So I see what it looks like when it's all big. So I want a max here, because that's too big, right? Max width of, I don't know, 400 pixels. And I guess a max height, since I thought that would happen just automatically, but I guess you're not into that. I don't understand why that doesn't happen automatically, but you know what? It's okay. Just copy this max width and add that to the game text. And I think the butt box is going to need it as well. And so now everything is back to being the same. So now I know the width is always going to be a max of 400. So when I'm creating the game box and I want to add a width to it, it can just be like 450 pixels. And now I know it'll always be about that size. So when I blow it up huge, it won't be so big you can't see what's going on. Groovy. I have the gamepad pretty much all set up. Now I do need to call all these functions. So all these IDs are going to be added to JavaScript because they're all going to do something. And initially, pretty much everything's going to be hidden. And that's how I'm going to set it up at first. Ah, darn it. I'm trying to get snazzy and select everything all at once, and then I click one wrong spot and it messes everything up. Alright, and butt box, and game text, and game TV, and game box. Do I need that? I don't know. It's easier to get rid of it than to try and not select it. Alright. These are all the things I want to mess with. I know that these are IDs. Now, so game TV display equals document dot get element by ID, and that element will be this fellow right here. Nope, not you down there. You up here. Great. We can do a similar thing for just about everything else. So I can select all this right here and do it that way. Game text display equals document, and we want it to be game text. You get the idea? I'm declaring variables. And do we need the butt box? No, but we do need the buttons. So button 1 equals, oh, I already had an equals. That's alright. And inside of here we'll do but 1. Okay, and that's pretty much that, right? So let's just copy this 6 times. Number 2. That's not a 2. I say 2, and then I hit 3. 4, 5, 6, and start. There's a button. Start but, I hope. Yeah, start button. See, that's why I copy these things. It's really useful. Start button. I see people flipping back and forth between their HTML and their JavaScript file over and over again. And I'm like, I think in my weeks of knowledge, I have cracked the case. Yeah. I think the game box is always going to stay the same. I don't plan on using that just now, but I can always do that in the future. So this doesn't double equal. That will ruin everything. Alright, so everything's declared. Now I want to add some click functionality to the start button, right? So start button dot add event I don't know why it's doing this. Start button dot add. Why isn't it letting me add an event listener? Start button dot. Why does it want to get element by ID? That's so annoying. Add event listener. Click, and so I'm wondering why that's not popping up. It's strange. Does this need to be in its in quotes? Let's find out. So function start game. Okay, so this an event listener, this will in fact start game. Start game. Console log, and we want to log start game working. Okay, let's hit over here F12 and on cot number 12 start button. That okay, so what's wrong with it though? Why aren't you letting me add an event listener? Let's investigate. I'm gonna go to my GitHub first, and let's go over to the unicorn quiz and let's investigate why perhaps the add event listener is not working. Where's add event listener? Add event listener, start dot add event listener, and let's see, what am I doing different? So, oh, that's because I didn't declare any of these. Get out of the way. A lot of the times those helpful boxes are not so helpful. Alright. Const. Save. And what's wrong now? What do you want? What do you want from me? Number 12, start button, add event listener. And this goes inside right here. No. Start button. And start game. And parentheses, that's right. Save. Still not liking it. Save. Still not liking it. What do you want from me? Oh, it's right here. Parentheses. Save. Still don't like it. Save. You still don't like it. Why? What do you want from me? What's going on? You're so okay. Like, add event listener down here, and I am. Let's see. Let's see. 1, 2. No, okay. So I'm accessing the start button here, add event listener, just like over here. Oh. Nope, I was not doing it like over there, that's why. Start game. And where's the start button? Scroll over, start, and there it's starting. There we go. Okay, now I got that function working. We can start the game off. When I start the game, I want to add a class. So I'm going to add the class to the start button. So start button dot class list dot add hide. Remember what our hide class does. And then so when I go start button dot class list dot remove hide. So no, I didn't want to add that to the start button. I was trying to add that to something else. Hold on a second. And then I was adding the okay. I wanted to add that to all these buttons. not the current what I have. Okay, button 1. So let's just do that, and then I'm gonna add that to all of these down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so this will remove hide from all 6 buttons and add hide to the start button. So currently it will just make the start button disappear. That's because currently the class over here is not hide. So I'm going to add hide to all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do a space, hide. And boom. Now all that's left is a start button. And now it's very apparent that that is not in the center. So we want to go over to the buttons box and align. I've already done that here. Align items. Nope, nope, that's not the right thing there at all. Nope, there we go. Center. Nope. We want justify content at center. Is that right? Yes. That's perfect. And the buttons, I mean, we could just do them at 100% and it'll justify everything accordingly because it's inside of a flex box that's designed to be only on row with no overflow. So now, when I hit the start button, oh, no, okay, that does not happen like I thought it would. What's 50% do though? That doesn't make any sense either. Okay, so that's because I'm only unhiding the very first button. Actually, that's why that's happening. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not 65. So now when I hit the start button, I will hold on a second. I will go from not having any of the buttons available here on the gamepad to having all of the gamepad buttons available, and then the start button will disappear. Right. Because of that, what do we want? Let's see. I need the... So, okay. I hit the start button, and there's all the buttons available. So that is working, that is functioning, ready to work. So now I can start adding functionality to those buttons, as well as adding... I can create a class setup for the initial face as well as the corresponding faces, so then I can use that same hide function on those faces. And I'll do this similar to text, but instead I'll probably use the inner HTML and just force it in there with a add event listener. But for now, I'm going to take a break, and I will start up on the next video from here. So until next time, it's been Eric Pauly. I'll see you on the next video.